Delighted to be with you today to make one of the fastest, easiest, and I think one of the most fun recipes. Pesto is something that is so fast and it's so delicious. It's so vibrant in flavor. You can make pesto out of walnuts and cilantro. You can make pesto out of so many different fresh herbs and nuts. So this is a basic pesto, and I'm going to make a very small portion, just enough for one person. The first ingredient I'm going to use is basil. Isn't this beautiful basil? It's so strong. I can smell it. It's so aromatic. It's just glorious. Going to feed my skin and my hair and my nails. And it's going to go in and also alkalize my blood. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I hear. Basil is one of my favorite herbs. It's so delicate, so light. It's excellent for reducing the inflammation in your body. It's excellent for antibacterial properties. So if you have other bad bacteria coming into your system, it's going to help to combat those bacteria and keep you healthy, vibrant, and strong. So the base of pesto is always a fresh herb. Now, I wouldn't use mint, for example, but I would consider using cilantro. Cilantro is delicious and nutritious and has a whole other host of health-promoting benefits. But basil is what we're using today. I believe there must be essential fatty acids as well, because when I work the leaves, there is a kind of oiliness that comes out. So I'm going to go ahead. You can also freeze the pesto. I mean, I don't really like to eat frozen food, but if you ever have too much, you can totally do that. The nut that I'm going to use, and you can use hemp seeds. I love hemp seed pesto. It's a great way to get hemp seeds in your life. But today, I'm going to use some pine nuts. Love these guys. These pine nuts are rich in fatty acids. And some of them are saturated, many of them unsaturated. And you always want to go the extra mile to find raw, organic pine nuts. And these also don't need to be soaked. They, from what I understand, they don't need to be soaked because they don't contain the enzyme inhibitors like the other nuts. I don't need much, really, maybe 2 tablespoons. You can always add more later. I am going to want a little bit of a kick. We need a little bit more of a kick when we're not using salt. So I'm going to use some red pepper flakes. You could use cayenne. You could also use a pepper if you have a habanero or some other chili pepper. I'm going to use a little bit of pepper, not too much. And if I want to keep the colors in my pesto vibrant, I'm going to use a little bit of lemon juice, really as a preservative and a brightener of the flavors, but more so because I don't want the pesto to turn dark blackish brown. I want to keep it bright green. So I'm just going to squeeze this lemon here. And another star in the pesto is always garlic. So whether you're making this with walnuts and cilantro or some other herb, you can always know that garlic is a mainstay. Garlic is almost the reason why we have pesto, right? That's almost, it's just part of the character of pesto. Like if pesto had to have a character, it would be part of garlic. So we're going to use this gorgeous garlic, also anti-inflammatory, also antifungal, antibacterial. I mean, this is the most incredibly diverse dish in terms of flavor and complexity and nutrients. I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me. So now we need a little bit of salt. How are we going to do that? Well, we could choose kelp, or we could use a little bit of nama shoyu. So I'm going to use a little bit of this, just a tiny little bit. I don't want to notice that it's in there. I just want a little bit of that salty flavor. So now I'm going to mix it, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil as I'm mixing it. So let's get this guy in place. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to turn it on low, let it food process. Beautiful. So I'm just adding just enough oil so that we get a kind of, yes, this texture. What would you call this texture? It's kind of, yeah, you want like a little bit of a paste. That's what this texture is called. This is a paste. I'm going to give it a few more whirls, and then we're going to be ready to go. I mean, this is delicious on just about anything. You can use it as a dressing on your salads. You can use it as a dip. You can use it over vegetable noodles. You can use it, there's so many different ways. I mean, gosh, it's just so delicious. And kids actually tend to love it too. All right, let's pulse again. A little bit goes a long way. All right, so this powerful healing food that also tastes amazing is going to be on the menu tonight. You can smell the garlic. You can smell the basil. It smells so good. And I can't wait to put this on some noodles. That's one of my favorite ways to have it. And just know that when you put it on your noodles, the noodles will probably get a little bit pre-cooked. You know, they'll get a little bit light and soft. And now we've got this gorgeous pesto. And this is enough for one and a half servings, right? So we made a really small portion. I like to eat food when it's fresh. I'm not a big fan of leftovers, I have to admit. So I try to make food in smaller quantities, or I tend to eat too much. That's one trick that I have. But living the Hippocrates diet has never been easier when you can make a sauce or a paste that tastes this delicious and is this nutritious. And it brings you the vitality that you're looking for to restore your energy and your health and your cells and your skin. I mean, there's absolutely so much vibrant health steeping in every single ingredient in this pesto. And I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. It is going to provide depth and diversity, because on the Hippocrates diet, we need to have that diversity or we're just not going to stick with it. It has to be interesting, it's got to be quick, easy, and most importantly, fun. I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to sharing another recipe with you.